Alrighty, we're going to be installing this ring camera so my friend can see who's walking through the yard. Here in the country I was born in, we use 14 American wire gauge on 15 amps, 12 American wire gauge on 20 amps. Black is live, white is neutral, the bare or the green is the ground. Red and blue are also live colors. However, you may find white live in a 110, 120 volt switch loop or in a 220, 240 volt circuit where the appliance does not require a neutral. So I'll show you how to install this light. Okay, so first we'll drill a hole just a little bit above the middle. In here so we can get our connector. See if our Romex connector will fit in the hole there. It will. So this is our weatherproof box we're going to put up. So we'll put our Romex connector into the back of our box here. Like that. And we have to put our plastic plugs in the hole we're not using. You just simply go in the holes like this here. Okay, so we'll just take our screwdriver here, we'll just tighten our plugs up, make sure they're on all the way. Get our wire centered into our Romex connector here. Get even pressure on both sides and have your wire centered. Strip our outer jacket with our stripper here. Clip off our debris. Okay, good game. Like that here. Alrighty, we gotta have our ground wire bonded to our box. We gotta get up here. Around that green screw here. Okay, good. That'll be a good one. Alright. Okay. Can you see me in the picture?
Oh yeah. Yeah, see perfect.
Good.
Perfect.
Close our loop like that there. Oh. Okay, now it'll be perfect. Just tighten this green screw up. Like that. We have our wires. Miranda. All right. That's got to be right in there. Yeah, that should do it right there. Okay, thank you. All right, so we'll stick our ladder, stick our wire in here. That drill bit did a good job. Now we'll screw our box down here. See if we get back a little bit tighter. One, two. Okay. Okay, I'm going to tip this up just a little bit more so you can... Okay, so we'll get our wires stripped here. Use. Alrighty, so the light comes with a big variety of screws and hardware, so you have all the right screws. So this is the bracket that goes on the box. It says front, so you gotta make sure you put that on the front. Put it on like this. So we'll see what's that. So here's all the screws it comes with. So it looks like we'll use these ones here on the far right. Then you gotta make sure it says front facing out. One, two. So this piece, I want to make sure I put, okay, see where it says up there? You want to make sure it's facing up. So we're going to flip our wires around to the other side here. Make sure they're down out of the way here. So when we put our middle screw in, they don't hit the wires. And now we'll stick our bracket with this arrow facing up like this, and we'll screw it onto the box. We'll probably try to use the shorter one here. Yeah, that one's too short. It's nice to give you a nice variety of screws, so if one's too short, you have others to choose from, so you don't have to use one that's too long and hit the wires or be stuck with something that's too short. Okay, so we'll get it centered on our box so it's nice and straight. There it is, nice and straight. Our rubber seal is all the way around, so we have our ground, which is the ground. We have our black, which is live. Alright, now we'll hook our light up. Okay, this has a nice little service thing here to hang it, so while you're working on it you can set it in here like this so you don't hang it by the wires. And we'll strip our, okay, that's stripped fairly long there, so we'll hook our ground wire to our bare wire here. Get our copper, we'll wrap it around our solid wire here. Have our copper even at the top and our insulation even at the bottom. Take our wire nut, make sure it gets on there nice and snug. Let's see how long our white wire is. Yeah, it's nice and long, so we don't have to strip it any further. So we'll stick our ground wire down in here like this. Get our insulation even at the bottom like that. We'll wrap our strands around our solid wire like this. Make sure our copper is even at the top and our insulation is even at the bottom. Get our wire nut on here. Make sure it's on here nice and tight. So we'll get our insulation even at the bottom like this here. We'll wrap our strands around our solid wire like this. Like that. Get our copper even at the top and our insulation even at the bottom. Take our wire nut on, make sure our insulation goes up into the bottom of the wire nut. Okay, they're nice and tight, and we'll stick our wire nut back into our box here. Now you want to make sure you put it right side up so that it's... So we'll push our wire nut back into here. Get back into our box, get it back where we want it. Light bulbs. Hope it all goes like that. Slide it on the bracket here. Make sure it's fit. Where's the window box up here? Alright, so we'll point that one the way we want it, we'll point this where we want it, point that where we want it. Now we just got to get our little white caps on here. And we'll put our caps on here, we'll just tighten them up. White cap. Make sure our nuts are nice and tight. With our weather seal grabs tight behind it here. Point this way, you'll point that one that way, and then this is adjustable. Now we'll go in the garage and hook it up to the power source. I'll close this door so the light doesn't bother me. Okay, so we'll take and we'll put our Romex connector in up here. So we'll get our wire. Okay, so we gotta get it up here over this here. Let's see if I can step on something in here. Doesn't fit. Okay, so we'll come in our top knockout up here. So we got a Romex connector in here. We're all nice and straightened out here. Our Romex connector on here. Okay, so we'll get our wire coming up here nice and neat. Okay, so we'll get a nice bend here. Well, if the staple wants to be stupid, just let it be stupid and just pull it out, that's all. Okay, so here. Well, we're not going to bother with it. We're not going to get all frustrated over it. It's only a staple. If it wants to bend, it wants to bend. This is a nice handy Klein tool. I gotta get a flathead screwdriver. Okay, so we'll put our white wire over here on our neutral bar. Open up our terminal here. We'll take our white wire, we'll bring it across the top here. We'll make a nice bend where it's going to go in. And we'll make our bend right here. Get it under our terminal there. Make sure our copper comes through our connector, so we'll shut this. So we will tie in with this one down here, or we can hook up. Okay, we'll hook up with. Okay, so we will hook up with this one down here. So we'll bring.
The only thing I was going to say.
Yep, I'm almost done.
Okay. I was going to say if I can face that way.
Yeah, it's adjustable. They can be turned. Okay, so we will hook up with this one here. So we'll bring this wire around this way here some more. So we'll cut it about right here. Now this circuit breaker, can it be on all the time? Because it was off.
It can be. It can be on.
Okay.
The other, I think, goes to the pump.
Okay. So instead of double tapping a breaker, we're going to strip our wires here. And we're going to use a wag over here, and we're going to put them together. Okay. All right. So there is power coming to this box, right? Okay. So we'll bring this black wire down here. So we'll get it back out of our way. We'll push it up into our corner. Here, we'll get it back over this way, and we'll bring it down. We'll connect it over here. So we want to make sure you get your insulation up into the yellow and your copper up to the top here. So we'll make sure they're not too long or short. So we'll push one in. There it is. There's one. Here is two. And here is three. All right. Oh, it's a little bit bent on the end here. There we go. There it is. And we'll make sure our copper comes up to the top here. So I see all three of our coppers are up at the top, and our insulation is down in the yellow there. Now we got to do the same with the ground wire here. So we'll find one that's longer. Okay. Here's your brush. Okay. So again, we'll strip our wire with our number 12 hole. Straight. Get our copper up to the top. Get this one in here. Push again. Get our copper up to the top here. We'll get our other ground wire up here. Push it up. And we'll get down behind all this mess here. Nice and straight here, and we'll push it into our connector here. Alright. Okay, so we'll make sure all our copper is coming up to the top here. This one's not quite in all the way. Now it is. Let's push all our wires back here. Okay, I'll get that back out of our way there. Now we're ready to put our cover back on. Okay, I'm going to show the instructions for the light. So there's the instructions.